Let me grab a beverage really fast. I don't
Okay.
know why I hit record. All right, I'm back.
Hang on.
Are you f***ing kidding me? We're live!
Okay. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to this moderately interesting episode of the Moderately Interesting Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron.
And I'm Mitch.
Mitch, did you know that we're live right now?
I do now.
I do now. Yeah, I didn't know before.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
We're definitely live.
We're definitely live. Today we're gonna be talking about a lot of news, rumors going on in the MCU. We got a brand new episode of Bad Batch. Be talking about the brand new Venom 2 trailer that dropped today. So we got all that and more, like questions. So don't touch that dial.
Play that theme song.
Play the theme song. Welcome back, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Mitch.
Yeah.
So much has happened within a week.
Yeah.
Like
as
I'm
usual.
looking,
I mean,
I'm looking at our notes right now, and I'm just like, holy cow! Where do we even start?
I don't know. Do we have any questions from last week?
I didn't ask any. I didn't ask for the questions, honestly.
I don't think either of us did. I know we.
I don't. You know what? I think we have to blame our brand new social media account advisor for that.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. I'm trying to think of the.
No, we don't blame. We don't blame you.
We don't blame.
We're not gonna blame them. That's not their.
But do we have any leftover questions like we usually do?
They expired. They're not good anymore.
Okay, that happens.
They
it's
went
like milk.
bad. We didn't put them in the fridge.
They curdled.
Yeah. They curdled, Morty. It's all your fault.
Yeah. All right. So no questions right now.
Let's start with the cage match.
Yeah, cage match.
Let's do it.
Nobody leaves until we work this out. Cage match.
All right, this week's cage match. This week's cage match.
Yeah.
Since I'm in charge of the cage matches.
You're in charge of the cage match. You are the
the cage match master.
Master. Sure.
Matchster. So this week's cage match, we're each going to choose a champion.
Excuse me. Champion.
We're going to choose a champion, and they will fight.
Okay. Do we have any parameters of where they're from?
No. None,
okay.
None whatsoever.
I'm going to go with Jesus. Good luck.
I'm going to go with God the Father.
Oh, no. Okay. No, okay, we're not going to do that.
Oh, that was funny, though.
Yeah, it was funny.
I'm going to go with an atheist.
Oh, no!
I don't believe anything that you just did.
Oh, man, but I did it right in front of you.
Don't believe it. Science.
Checkmate, Jesus.
Oh, all right.
You know what? In honor of the brand new Dragon Ball Super movie coming out in 2022, I'm gonna go with Vegeta, the Prince of All Saiyans.
Okay. Is that the blonde dude?
I mean, they're all blonde. Yes.
Don't they like become blonde later on when they've?
Yeah, that's Super Saiyan.
Okay.
Yeah, and Vegeta can turn Super Saiyan.
When do they lose their monkey tail?
Well, it depends on who we're talking about. Goku had his cut off, and then it regrew, and then they had it cut off again. Well, it wasn't cut off again. He had it removed. Vegeta had his cut off. Gohan had his pulled out by Mr. Piccolo.
Okay.
And Goten and Trunks were just never born with tails for whatever reason. I believe the official explanation is Toriyama forgot about them.
Okay, cool. All right, so you got Vegeta.
The Prince of all Saiyans.
Okay, I'm assuming he's super powerful. And I feel like he just needs someone crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Homelander.
Who?
Homelander from The Boys.
Oh, okay. I've never seen the
He's
Boys.
basically
actually.
like a.
He's like an evil Superman. Is that the?
Okay, imagine giving Ted Bundy Superman's superpowers.
Okay.
What would he do with them?
We
don't need to talk about what he would do with them, but just imagine that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Homelander.
Okay.
I think it'd be a good fight.
Let me tell you why Vegeta is gonna kick Homelander's butt. Okay.
Well, I already kind of know he will, but
okay. Let me just say,
it'd be a good movie.
Vegeta, first of all, is the Prince of all Saiyans. The Saiyans are a warrior race. Okay.
Okay.
And Vegeta is the pinnacle. He is the best of the best. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He is destined to lead all the Saiyans.
Okay.
Goku is a third class Saiyan. Okay. Vegeta is top tier.
Okay.
All right. Vegeta can turn Super Saiyan 2. He's turned Super Saiyan God. He has mastered Super Saiyan Blue, also known as Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
He has the ability to fuse with Goku, and when they fuse, their powers are multiplied by each other.
Okay.
So they're already like super strong already, but then you multiply Vegeta by a Goku and you get Gogeta or Vegeto. I mean, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, in the manga, Vegeta is learning how to be a god of destruction, and he's learning his Hakai powers, which is just destruction. He can just destroy.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at right now. That's my opening argument to the jury.
I don't know why I chose Homelander.
Right. Do you want to do like a cut right now, and we choose I choose somebody else?
No, you can choose Vegeta.
Okay.
That's fine. And I'm going to stick with Homelander.
Okay.
But I don't really have an argument.
Okay.
Other than he's a psycho and he won't stop.
Okay. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna recommend we do right now. You pick a clip of Homelander and send it to me, and then I'm gonna pick a clip of Vegeta and send it to you.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of gauge, and then we'll say what the clip is, so that way everybody else can listen, or everybody else can watch the clip if they choose to.
Do you want like a
give me like the most impressive Homelander feat that you can think of?
There's he does a lot of killing innocent people.
Okay, yeah. Like whatever is like the most impressive, powerful feat that he's done.
You know, like Superman cares about humanity.
Right, and he does.
And he like if he's going to use his laser vision, he's going to be pretty precise with it. He's not going to like
he doesn't care
with
about
it
that.
and look around and zap everybody. Homelander's the opposite.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot through a citizen to hit his target.
Yeah, I mean, shoot through a citizen, but he'll shoot through an entire crowd.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Let's see.
So I already know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna wait until.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send you the airplane one. That's the worst one.
So,
all right. So we have our champions.
So, I will rest my case right now. I believe the evidence speaks for itself. Vegeta's final flash. But if you would like to, present an argument right now, I am all for it.
Okay. So, yeah, you probably win. But Homelander, as we were speaking before, Homelander hasn't really been tested and hasn't really fought somebody that is as powerful or more powerful than him.
Okay.
There is what's her name? Stormlight. She's a new character in season 2, but they kind of fight, but it's not. It's kind of like a weird, creepy, flirtatious fight. But he hasn't really fought anybody of that stature, so I don't know how he would keep up.
Right.
He might be able to take some or most of the hits. I doubt that last thing on that video that you sent me.
Yeah. Can he
doubt
take
he
a
can
final
withstand
flash?
that.
Could he take a final flash? I don't know.
I don't think so. But if he could, then he might have a chance.
Okay.
But I don't know how he would beat Vegeta.
Okay. Yeah. So
because he literally just has Superman's power. He's a psychopath with Superman's powers.
Right. So I'm just gonna end my case really quick by saying the Vegeta that we saw right here in that clip that I sent you, and for our viewers at home, I literally sent him the TFS Final Flash clip. It's about 1 minute and 38 seconds long. That's not even full power Vegeta anymore. Like Vegeta, the current Vegeta is significantly stronger than that Vegeta.
Okay.
So,
well, I will make, this is the last argument I'll make for Homelander. I sent Aaron the, if you've seen The Boys, it's the scene where there's a airplane hijack by terrorists, and he goes up into the airplane to stop the terrorists, and he ends up ruining the controls and not saving anybody, basically to avoid the publicity.
Mm-hmm.
And so my final argument is, while Vegeta is doing this fireworks show, Homelander will be killing everybody that he knows and loves, which might be more damaging than dying himself.
Okay.
That's something Homelander would do.
Yeah, that's fair. I just want to point out too, Vegeta has
a one-on-one fight, he would win. Yeah.
Vegeta has died 3 times. Okay, so he can take a beating.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would say in a one-on-one fight, Vegeta's coming out on top.
Okay, you've heard it here, folks. Folks, Vegeta wins the cage match.
But his family doesn't.
Oh, I think Trunks could survive.
I'm just making a joke. I don't know who Vegeta's family is.
His son is the other guy. His son was the other blonde-haired guy.
Right.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Let us know.
That's an interesting matchup.
I enjoyed it.
That was a very interesting matchup.
Very interesting matchup.
Cool.
Well, let's head on.
That's our cage match.
This has been Cage Match.
All right, what do we got on the schedule today, Aaron?
Let's talk rumors.
Okay.
We got a lot of rumors to get through, Mitch.
Yeah, we do.
Well, some of these are rumors, some of these aren't rumors, but we're going to put them all in the rumor mill, I guess. I don't know. But first things first is Andrew Garfield has said he never got a call for Spider-Man.
Yeah, I saw that.
He never got a call.
Yeah. So he might be bluffing.
Yeah. So I think Andrew Garfield's full of crap.
You think he's in it?
Oh yeah. I think he's in it. And I think he is either lying, like just straight up lying.
Uh-huh.
Or I think he is taking the most literal interpretation of this, of like, yeah, I never got a call, I got an email. Right. Like that's the thing. Or like, I never got a call, it was my agent who got the call. Like
I got a text.
Yeah, I got a text or whatever, but I am 100% convinced that he is in this movie.
Okay. Has anybody else from his universe been cast, minus Jamie Foxx? But Jamie Foxx is kind of different, right?
Right, Jamie Foxx is kind of different.
He's still playing Electro, but he's playing like the Tom Holland version, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Emma Stone is supposed to be coming into it.
Okay. That's enough right there.
Right. So we got Emma Stone. We also know so these parts aren't rumors that I'm going to be saying right now. These are facts. Okay, fact. Andrew Garfield's stunt double took a Instagram picture of him working with Marvel, and then he deleted the picture shortly after he posted it.
Okay.
That is a fact.
Okay.
Another fact is Andrew Garfield was recently in Atlanta, Georgia, where they film the Spider-Man film series.
Where they film everything.
Yep. And we have, if you like Google it, you can find like DoorDash drivers or Uber Eats drivers saying they dropped food off for Andrew Garfield while he was in Atlanta.
Okay.
So we know he was in Atlanta at around the same time they've been filming Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
We know that his stunt double, who has not been associated with anything Marvel since Spider-Man, was working with Marvel recently.
Okay.
We know Jamie Foxx is in the movie. We know Emma Stone is rumored. This is the rumor. We know Emma Stone is rumored to be in it too. Okay. So all signs are pointing to liar, liar, pants on fire, Andrew.
Plants for hire. Cool.
Why would it be plants for hire?
It's pants on fire.
Well, you would know. Liar.
Yeah. Liar.
Continuing down this rabbit hole right now, Skylar Schuler says there's a good chance that the other Spider-Man won't be shown in marketing. That he's also saying that the actors are being pursued hard by Sony to keep their involvement a surprise.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense because that's a big deal.
Right. So
if they gave that away, like if they put it on the trailer, it wouldn't be worth watching.
It would sell a lot of tickets though.
It would sell tickets, but it's
kind of like how like Spider-Man was like they were debating whether or not to put Spider-Man in the Civil War trailer.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, like I kind of get it because like at this point, it's people are expecting this now. So,
yeah, I think the rumors have sold most people.
Mm-hmm.
And the movies, I mean, the Marvel movies themselves are popular enough that they don't necessarily need to do that anymore.
Right.
Because I feel like, I mean, the stuff before Civil War was still really good, but Civil War was kind of like a turning point because you got Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah.
And it added that whole new thing. So
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't need to do that though. They should keep it a secret and then just wait.
Yeah.
I'm telling them what to do.
Yeah. So we're probably not going to see Tobey Maguire. We're probably not going to see Andrew Garfield in the trailers. What are we going to get in the trailers, do you think?
I think we'll get I think we're going to get Elon Musk as Iron Man.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to get it in that movie or not. Maybe down the road we'll get Elon Musk as Iron Man. Because I don't want Elon Musk as Iron Man in a movie. I want Elon Musk as Iron Man in real life.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that's where I stand. If you're gonna fall back on what you're trying to say, that's cool. But I want IRL Elon Musk as IRL Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah,
I was kind of thinking more of like he's in the trailer to show what he's been working on. Kind of like one of those, I don't know. It's kind of reflecting the real world in a movie.
Just 2022 Super Bowl during the halftime show. I want Elon Musk to land with his Iron Man suit, and he's like, "By the way, guys, I'm Iron Man now."
Yeah, I want them to announce that Elon Musk is the entertainment for that Super Bowl,
and
everyone will be like, "What? He's not. Yeah. He's not a musician.
He's not an entertainer.
Like what? What's he gonna do? Drive his cars around in the field?" And then boom, lands with his fist down in the ground. Punches a hole into the field. They have to come out and like fix the divot. Oh, that'd be great. I agree. So Elon Musk and all the listeners, you heard it here first. Just like you hear everything here first. Elon Musk, we're calling you out again.
Yep. Let's sticking with Spider-Man. We've got Venom. New Venom trailer came out today.
Right.
Were you able to watch that?
I was able to watch that.
What do you think?
I think it looks good. I like Tom Hardy and I like Woody Harrelson, so it's a very interesting I'm assuming they're going to be fighting each other.
Right. Yeah, it's Venom versus Carnage, essentially.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, that's kind of two really good actors. I have a question for Carnage.
Yes.
Is he kind of the same as Venom as far as like taking over the body? And
yeah, he is like a crazier parasite than Venom is, though. He is.
Because the beginning of the trailer makes it look like Tom Hardy and Venom are kind of getting along.
Right. Yeah, they're definitely taking a lot of liberties with Venom in this movie. Yeah. I think like part of the problem with Carnage is bonded with a serial killer, and so like that's what makes him like super like crazy. And like that's why like it's like Venom bonded with Spider-Man, and that's why he's like trying to act like Spider-Man, but like Carnage bonded with like a serial killer, and that makes him like just like this crazy killer kind of
Okay. But that's very interesting. I did not know that. I have heard of Carnage, but I didn't know. I just thought it was another Venom.
Right. Okay, it's done.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I watched most of it, but the other's a little bit that I hadn't seen. So,
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, have you seen the first Venom?
I have.
Okay.
But it's been a while.
It's been a while for me too. And the first Venom was just like okay for me. But it's just weird that we have Venom with no Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like we're going to be getting any Spider-Man in it anytime soon.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. And like same with Carnage, I don't really know what to think of this right now. It doesn't look bad, I guess is what like the first thing I should say. It looks fine. It looks fun. I will probably give it a solid checkout when it comes out.
Right.
But I'm just like I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not anticipating it like I am with Spider-Man or like you know, other stuff. It's really funny to see the in association with Marvel instead of like by Marvel Studios kind of like but having said that, this movie Let There Be Carnage, Venom Let There Be Carnage is directed by Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I did hear about that too.
And that is really interesting.
Is this his debut directing?
No, not his debut. His debut was the Mowgli movie.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that?
He voiced a bunch of the animals, didn't he?
I think he did.
Or one of them. I have not seen that, but
I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird one because like I remember hearing about this and yeah, I haven't seen it, which is like I should see it. Because but like yeah, like that was like a weird one. I remember hearing about it and then like I think like almost as soon as I heard about that, Disney's like we're doing a Jungle Book live action movie.
Right.
Like I think like Disney like really wanted to like bury this one as like quickly as they could.
Yeah, that'll be interesting though to see because he's such a good actor that
yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's such a good actor, but he's very iconic. He's played some roles that could not be done better by anybody else.
Yeah,
especially his voicing stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking at the Mowgli. I'm looking at the Mowgli movie that he directed. Christian Bale was Bagheera.
Oh wow.
Benedict Cumberbatch was Shere Khan. Like, it's a good cast that they got for this one. But yeah, like just very much overshadowed by the Disney version that came out right before it. Yeah, but I am like on a scale of 1 to 10, Mitch, how excited are you to see this movie? Let There Be Carnage.
Probably like a 5. That's about how excited I was for the last one.
Okay.
because I didn't, like you said, there's not Spider-Man in it, so
yes,
I don't really care as much.
So I guess I'm kind of like the way I'm looking at it right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means I am excited for it. 4, 3, 2, 1 means I am not excited, kind of dreading it. I guess neutral would be a 5. So I think this bumped me up to a 6. Like I am moderately excited for this. It looks moderately interesting. It looks moderately interesting.
Yeah. I will say for my ranking that I will watch it in hopes that they will one day merge the new Venom character. I like Tom Hardy, so anything he does is good.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean the movie's good. It just means his acting and his character is usually good. But I'm hoping I will watch it. It'll be entertaining to some degree, but I'll watch it in hopes that it will one day merge with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because if it is anything like the past Marvel movies, I'm talking about, the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, Fantastic Four, the one with the Silver Surfer as well, and then the really crappy one that nobody saw, and Ghost Rider, if you want to go that deep. But all of those, they exist in their own little bubble, and they're starting to, with the rumors with Tobey Maguire, there's a potential merge there, and those ones were so good that it's hard to ignore those ones. But I don't want, if I go into this Venom movie, I'm going to be looking at it kind of like I would watch one of those movies now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I went and watched the old Fantastic Four movies, it's like, yeah, it's fun, but doesn't really connect with anything else. It's just a movie.
Right.
It's a sequel to another movie.
Yes.
So, but if it's part of the actual Marvel universe, then
it's really interesting too, because a couple of years ago when I think when Venom came out, they referred to this movie as MCU adjacent. As in like this movie takes place within the same world as Spider-Man Homecoming, and like Spider-Man Homecoming is in the MCU. Like, so like there's kind of like they call it MCU adjacent, I believe is what they were calling it.
Right.
But like what's weird is we've also got Morbius coming out.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that one with Jared Leto?
Yeah, the vampire dude. Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything about that one for a while, actually.
I remember seeing the trailer for that, and wasn't Michael Keaton in it?
Yeah, exactly. Michael Keaton is reprising his role as Tooms and the Vulture.
Right.
But what's weird about that movie, or that trailer, if you remember, is that trailer had a
did it have a poster of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man?
Yeah, it was graffiti of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Right.
And like again, is this just more kind of like setup and Easter eggs for No Way Home, which is going to be a multiverse? Like,
or are they just trying to create plot holes?
Yeah, like, and if so, like, is Morpheus coming after? And like, if it's coming after, like maybe like No Way Home already happened, and so like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was like in this universe, for a little bit. Like,
yeah,
it's really interesting. Of like what this all means with these MCU adjacent films, or does it mean nothing because they're not really in the MCU? Like,
right. Yeah, I don't know.
But like I pulled up the Morpheus trailer right now, and like they're definitely playing around with the fact that like this kind of takes place in the same universe, because like it says in the trailer, from the studio that brought you Spider-Man Far From Home.
Right.
Like as in like, oh yeah, like this is set in the same. So yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess
kind of misleading. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But
let's get on to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. You want to start shoot off that one?
Yeah. So I mean, I mostly just read the headlines on this, but I know James Gunn is done after 3.
Yeah, it looks
He's
like
parting ways with Marvel.
Yeah, it looks like James Gunn will be done after.
And probably Dave Bautista as well.
Dave Bautista is saying that he will probably be done with the character of Drax after Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is this coming from a disagreement between Marvel Studios and the director and Dave Bautista?
I don't think so.
Are they just kind of done? More money outside of Marvel?
I think it is. I think what's going. I don't know. I mean, they did fire him, James Gunn.
And but then they rehired him, right?
Yeah, and then they rehired him. But I'm just wondering if he maybe feels a little betrayed. I don't know.
If you know what he got fired
for. Or I mean, is it just as simple as like, this is the story that I wanted to tell. I've told the story, and I don't have like I told my story, so I don't want to continue it, because if I continued it, in my mind, I would be making something that isn't there, kind of a thing. So hand it off to somebody else who maybe has an idea for a new story.
Right.
I mean, that could be something too. I don't know. I can't say I would blame him if he's like, yeah, I don't really want to be a part of this anymore. Like, I want to finish what I started, but I don't really care to be a part of it anymore.
They just started filming, didn't they?
I think they did. But what's weird is...
Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
Oh, I was going to say what's weird was before he got fired, and then I'm not sure if he was restored or not, but before he got fired, James Gunn was like promoted to like the executive, like he was like in charge of like the
Shield.
No, like I'm sorry, I'm kind of blanking on like the term right now, but he was like the not cosmetic, like the cosmos executive.
Oh, okay.
Like he was in charge of like all of the
like the lore, kind of
like. Oh, so here it is right here. He was dismissed as his lead role to help Marvel's planned cosmic universe. So like all of like the space stuff that was going on in the MCU, he was going to be like overlooking and in charge of.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I don't know if he ended up getting that role back. I would assume not, since he's planning on stepping down after.
Right.
Let me do a quick Google search on that.
It makes sense that he had that position, because Guardians of the Galaxy is like the one movie franchise within Marvel that takes place for the majority of the time in space. You have like a half of a scene on Earth, and then the rest of it is on other planets.
Yeah.
And that's what connected like Thanos to the Avengers. All right. Yeah. So
Yeah. So James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. Dave Bautista. Possibly out.
Possibly on the outs. I read Dave Bautista kind of is like, when number 3 comes out, I'm gonna be like in my 50s,
right?
And like I don't want to have saggy skin while I'm playing Drax. So yeah, I like the Drax one seems kind of more like a hey, pay me more to me,
right?
Whereas the James Gunn one kind of seems more like a no, I've got other things I want to do. Or maybe I just don't really like the environment there anymore because of what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah. Either way, I hope they can figure out a way to keep James Gunn around. Because I was thinking about this when I was reading this. A lot of the old guys, are gone that are directing, the MCU stuff.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, like the Russo brothers, they're gone.
Okay.
John Favreau,
they were done.
Yeah, they're done for now, at least they said.
Yeah.
John Favreau, he's been gone for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like Thor didn't have a repeating director for a long time. Until
now he's got
Taika. Yeah, now we've got Taika.
Yeah.
But up until then we didn't. Joss Whedon, obviously he's gone, and we're probably not going to get him back anytime soon.
Right.
Which is fine. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like there's like nobody else that's really, other than James Gunn. I don't think anybody's coming back. It's all new people, new blood.
Yeah. I know Favreau has been kind of more involved in Star Wars stuff. So, I mean, I think I'm kind of in the mindset with Star Wars and Marvel that they're almost one and the same, obviously different universes, but they kind of pick and choose directors
right
that can kind of do both. So we might see Jon Favreau again too.
Yeah, you never say never about that, but it seems like John's very happy doing Star Wars right now, and of course,
I wonder if we'll see him in the next Spider-Man.
Jon Favreau? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Happy
because I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's not something negative. I hope that either they write him out and have a good ending for Drax if that's his wish.
Yeah.
I hope he dies in a very glorious way because he's one of my favorite characters. Or he I think he needs to die. That sounds
you think
rude,
he needs to die? Go back with his family?
Yeah, he needs...
Be reunited with his wife and daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Now that Thanos is dead, that was kind of his mission in life. So it's like he can kind of...
He can die peacefully now.
Yeah, he can kind of do his thing now.
Well, speaking of the future of Marvel, looking at the past, we now have on Disney Plus Marvel Legacy.
Okay.
And I think this is Marvel's version of what Star Wars Legends is, which is like, hey, we made this. This isn't canon anymore, but you can enjoy this kind of a thing.
Right.
And one of the first things you see under Marvel Legacy is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
You got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you've got Cloak and Dagger, and the Runaways. I think we're all under Marvel Legacy.
Okay. Those are all fine with me.
I think it's just all those old Marvel television stuff is not going to be canon anymore.
It's good that they clarified it.
Yeah, I think we've kind of known that for a while. We've kind of talked about before how the Netflix stuff probably isn't canon anymore. And yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of stopped making sense towards the end. But yeah, I guess we can kind of mark this down as just about as official as it gets with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything as it being not canon.
Right.
So let's have a moment of silence for our fallen ally, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And
okay, moment's over. Yeah. Did you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Mitch?
I saw a little bit. It wasn't my favorite.
Season 1 was pretty bad.
That's probably the only one I watched.
So season 1 was like the first half, like not good, just straight up not good. And then what ends up happening halfway through season 1 is the Winter Soldier movie happens. And so all of a sudden, one of the main characters in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. turns out to be a Hydra agent.
Okay.
And yeah, then it gets really good. Then it gets good from there. And then season 2 is better than season 1.
Wait, isn't it it's the dude, the big, strong white dude? Isn't he the Hydra? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember his name. Yeah.
Agent Grant.
I just remember the girl was attractive. That was the reason why I watched it, and then I lost interest. I don't remember her name either.
So, they called her Sky in season 1, but that wasn't her real name. It turns out her real name was
Skylar.
No.
Jennifer.
No,
her real name was Sandra.
I don't want to call her because I think her real name is. Hang on.
Moonbeam. What's her real name? I want to know.
Yeah, so her real name was Daisy. Oh, okay, yeah. So I was getting her real name, the character's real name, confused with the actress's name.
Okay.
So she starts off as Sky, then she's Daisy, and then she starts going by her like agent name, which is Quake.
Okay.
And
does she gain superpowers?
Yeah, she gets superpowers.
Okay. I kind of heard that a lot of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. People were getting powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not watch that. I did not watch Cloak and Dagger. I think I saw the ad for that.
I saw the first episode of Cloak and Dagger.
It looked pretty cringy.
It was very YA.
Yeah.
It felt very YA. I never watched The Runaways.
I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, that was on Hulu.
Okay.
It was like hard to watch all of these actually because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on ABC.
Right.
Cloak and Dagger was on ABC Family, which became Freeform.
Right.
And then The Runaways was on Hulu. And then obviously you had the Netflix series on Netflix, go figure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy to try to watch all of these different shows that were like part of the MCU.
Yeah.
But you could not figure out how they were part of the MCU.
Yeah, they're just taking side stories and trying to make something out of it. Trying to make another dollar. Well, let's see. This one's going to get you.
Oh, what's that?
Zack Snyder would love to direct a Star Wars movie. Did I lose you?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Well, how do you feel about that?
Not good, Mitch. Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that. I mean, it's not. Granted, it's not Star Wars would like to talk with Zack Snyder. It's Zack Snyder would love to direct one, so that's a very different story. But no, don't Zack Snyder, please. Just I don't want that like ever. Yeah, I can't. I don't like know what you would do. Like, what could you possibly bring that would be remotely interesting, Zack Snyder?
Mm-hmm.
I just no. I'm like coming across very harsh right now, but just no. I don't want a bad movie to come out and then be like, if they would have released my unaltered cut, it would have been phenomenal.
And then we'll wait 5 years and get the Snyder cut, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever Star Wars movie it is.
Snyder cut Star Wars, the origin of Jar Jar Binks.
I wouldn't mind if they gave him an episode of like The Mandalorian, just to give him like a.
If they wanted to give him an
test.
episode of The Mandalorian, I guess that's fine. But
if it was a full movie, I can see what you're saying.
I don't want him to ever have a full movie, please, never. No. There's not a whole okay, so that brings up the question. Who would you want to see direct a Star Wars movie? It doesn't have to be episode 10 or whatever, just a Star Wars movie. Who would you get?
I don't know. I mean, I know that he wouldn't be down for it because he's weird like that, but
who?
Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
Because I would just like to see what he would do with the Star Wars movie.
I mean, I don't think he wouldn't be undown for it. I mean, he did 3 Batman movies, so I don't think he's above that.
He just doesn't seem like he would be into that. I don't know. Maybe he would be. I might be surprised. But all of his movies have been so. I just watched Tenet recently, like 3 days ago. So I'm coming off of a Christopher Nolan high.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I want in all of my movies now. He's kind of set the bar high for making you think and like deep story, deep plots, like crazy reveals later on. That's the kind of stuff that I'd like to see in a Star Wars movie at some point.
Yeah.
None of this. We got to find the dagger to unlock the Emperor's chambers. I don't even remember what happened in that movie, the episode 9, but it was so predictable. In Christopher Nolan, everything he does is not predictable.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
That's what I would like to see.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually thought of Christopher Nolan too. Mm-hmm. My thought was, though, if we're doing like episode 10, I would want Christopher Nolan to do that.
I'd want him to do the entire trilogy because they got to do another trilogy.
Right.
10, 11, and 12. The Nolan trilogy.
The Nolan cut trilogy.
Yeah.
So my thought was kind of so like that. Yeah, Christopher Nolan was like who I would pick for like starting the new trilogy.
Yeah.
But for like a single Star Wars story, maybe there's a sequel, maybe there's not. I narrowed mine down to 2.
Okay.
Edgar Wright,
mm-hmm.
Who did Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver.
Some classics.
Classics. Or my other choice was James Gunn.
Okay. Yeah.
And either or of them to direct a Hondo Onaka Star Wars movie.
That would be cool. I could see James Gunn being well. Both of them kind of have similar styles.
That's why I kind of thought they both kind of could fill that role very well. Either or.
What about this? Get this.
I'm getting it.
George Lucas.
Is he directing or is he writing too?
I don't know. I just wanted to throw him in there.
Because I mean, like,
would you ever want George Lucas to do another
movie,
even just a standalone movie, or another trilogy, or a TV series?
If you wanted to do a standalone movie, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
If
you wouldn't want him to take the reins of another trilogy.
Man.
He's getting old too.
He's old. He's getting old. One, I don't think he would. If I'm going to be honest, I think he is very much aware of like he probably knows better than anyone how difficult it is to make a movie, let alone 30 movies.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would actually want to do that.
But if he would,
well, okay. So real quick, I totally see him doing an episode of The Mandalorian and or the Book of Boba Fett.
That'd be awesome.
So I can totally see that happening, and I'm totally cool and happy with him doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If he does do another movie, I would want him not to be the writer. So he can direct, and he can be like he can be a writer, but not like the only writer.
Mm-hmm.
But like I would want a bunch of other people there to help him write it.
Right.
And I would want Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau there as producers.
Right.
And like basically if he did it, I would want him to be very much kept in line like he was when he was making the original trilogy. And it's just like, no, George, we can't do that. Like that's too expensive. Or like, no, George, like that makes no sense. Yeah, exactly. And that like when you read about like the making of the original Star Wars, like that's very much what happened. Of like, no, George, you can't do that. Like that makes no sense. Right. Like there's footage of Harrison Ford being like, George, just because you can write this dialogue doesn't mean that people can say it. Mm-hmm. So like he was constantly fought, and like not like fought is like the right word, but like he was constantly challenged. Yeah. And like I think that like all of the stuff that didn't need to be in there, like he didn't put up the fight for, and like for like the stuff that he really wanted, he fought for and he got. Right. And that clearly did not happen with the prequels. Because by the time the prequels came around, they're like, well, you're George Lucas. I'm not going to argue with you. You clearly know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's why we got that mess in the prequels. Whether I'm not saying that it's a bad. I'm not saying the prequels are bad. But like, there's definitely issues. Yeah. There's issues with them.
There's the things that always come up that people talk about.
And definitely, and like and I think the big thing with George Lucas is his dialogue. I don't know what is up with his dialogue. I don't know if he doesn't listen to people how they talk. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But
are you telling me that you didn't like when Anakin went on a little rant about sand?
It's not even okay. Like that. Like okay. Yes, the sand is bad. Like it's bad dialogue. But like I get the meaning behind the dialogue. So I actually forgive the sand probably more than I should. But I do forgive the sand because I'm like I get what you're going for. I like that. And it's like actually it's laughable, but
it means something. Yeah.
When you think about it, you're like, oh, you know what? But like what really gets me is like episode 1 Anakin of going like, that was so wizard. Like that when Watto is like, hey, clean up and then you can go home, and then he goes, yippee! Like it's like George had never heard children talk, and he just like this is what children sound like
right.
It's like stuff like that where you're just like, oh my George, like come on, man.
Yeah. All right, so maybe not George Lucas.
So I'm not saying no because I would like it, but I would want like some heavy supervision. I would want some heavy
We're definitely saying no to Zack Snyder on a movie.
I am. If you're like, I think that's a great idea, then that's fine.
I'm kind of on the same boat
But to anybody
I
who's
wouldn't
like,
want him. I wouldn't want him to be a part of a trilogy. If it's a standalone movie, maybe, and if it's an episode of a TV show,
if he wants to direct an episode
sure.
of The Mandalorian, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, I guess.
The standalone movies, in my opinion, are I liked the old. I'll leave Rogue One out of this because I think that was a really good movie, and I think that it fits well with everything that the other movies stand for.
Here's my compromise right here. Zack Snyder, you can direct an episode of Bad Batch.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is that I think that Star Wars movies should be trilogies because I think that's kind of, it's just like a pattern that it's like tradition now. No more of these standalone movies. And then I think that the TV series are the best way to expand the universe.
Okay.
I know this is going off the topic of directors.
Mm-hmm. No, I get what you're saying.
But to that point, I also think that each trilogy should be headed by one director.
Okay.
Because I think that that's where the sequel trilogy derailed.
I kind of agree with what you're saying. I don't really mind the like side stories that they're doing, the side movies.
Yeah.
I think they can continue to do that, and I think that's fine, especially right now. I don't think we need to jump into a new trilogy just yet. But I think Star Wars as a television series, where they're kind of pushing it right now, is great. And
get a lot more depth.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we can continue to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of Star Wars, let's talk about Bad Batch, Episode 2.
Execute Order 66.
Mitch, did you get to watch Bad Batch Episode 2?
I did, and I will say I did not. I wasn't paying that much attention, so you're the leader on this.
Okay.
But I got the gist of it, so it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to talk about too much.
No.
Basically, what was cool, I didn't see coming, was the Bad Batch. They end up going to the planet where the character that we met from the Clone Wars, the clone who defected and raised a family, they ended up hanging out with them, which was something I did not think about. I thought that was really cool.
I didn't know who that was. I assumed it was from the Clone Wars.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was interesting to see like a free clone like doing his own thing,
right?
Which might set the tone for the rest of those guys. They might have similar aspirations once they have done whatever it is they need to do.
Yeah. So, we go there. Omega kind of hangs out with the kids. The clones are kind of like, oh yeah, like this all, blah 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 blah. The clone with the family is like, I got to get my family out of here before the Empire realizes what's going on. And then there is like this code going on where you have to have a code in order to get off the planet.
Right.
Blah blah blah, kind of a thing. And then Hunter decides to have Omega go with the family and like leave the Bad Batch. And then during this time, they get into a fight with the clones because the clones are stationed on the planet. Omega decides to not go with the family and stay with the Bad Batch, and the Bad Batch fight off the clones, get off the planet, and leave. And yeah, I mean that's basically the episode in a nutshell. Right. Because it's kind of like a lot, like not like a whole lot really happened. But it was still an entertaining, fun episode nonetheless. But really, what I want to talk about is, I do kind of want to talk about where the show is going. Want to talk more about Omega as they call her. Omega.
Amiga.
Yeah. Amigo.
They should have just called her Amigo. Am I wrong?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, because I think Omega, it's the last. That's, Greek for last.
Amigo is friend, so beat that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think she is supposed to be the last clone that they made.
Okay. Where do you think they're going?
Well, okay. So I have a few concerns too about Bad Batch after watching episode 2.
Okay.
I'm a little worried that they are kind of taking the elements from Clone Wars. They're taking the elements from The Mandalorian, like the best elements, and they're trying to put them all in this show.
Like the relationship between Mando and Grogu.
Yes, and Hunter and Omega.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was feeling that too.
Yeah, like that was very like this episode very much reminded me of.
Wasn't as natural though. It was like forced.
Right, because it's only been one episode.
Yeah,
and we got this episode of like what Mandalorian spent 2 seasons building up to.
And I'll just say it. I'm going to speak for myself and not everyone else. Omega kind of bothers me.
Okay, I don't find her annoying exactly, but I can get why. And it's something that Star Wars, I don't know if it's a problem necessarily, but it's a pattern of you got Ahsoka and everybody found her annoying.
Right.
You had Ezra and everybody found him annoying.
Right.
And now you've got Omega and she's
little Anakin,
right?
Annoying.
So I'm not concerned about that because I think they are intentionally doing this.
Okay.
I think, and so that's where I come from, where I'm saying the Clone Wars, because they intentionally made Ahsoka as annoying as possible, and it looks like they're trying to do that with Omega, because if they make her like very like childlike and annoying, it's very easy to like have that character develop because they're starting off like at such a low spot that the only way they can go is up, essentially.
Right.
And that was really a problem for a while with Ahsoka. Ahsoka was very much this annoying child who eventually grew up. So I think they're setting that up too, and so that's why I'm saying that I think they're stealing the best parts from Clone Wars. Is like they're kind of stealing the Ahsoka arc, and putting it on Omega as well.
Right. I see that.
So
definitely do.
Yeah. So I think they're doing that. So that doesn't I'm not annoyed with Omega because I don't think Omega was as annoying as Ahsoka was. And I didn't really like Ezra was a little bit annoying, but like I kind of understood where he was coming from.
Yeah.
So I didn't find him as annoying.
Ezra wasn't that annoying to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was like the Star Wars version of Aladdin to me.
Right. But like the other thing too was like
street rat.
He didn't know anything. So like you can't like it's like annoying, but like you can't be annoyed with him when he like doesn't understand like how the Force works. It's like he's literally just learning about this. Like
right. He's never been exposed to it.
But like it's like easier to be annoyed with Ahsoka because she is a Jedi Padawan. She should know this already.
Right. I think I'm more annoyed with Omega because I was kind of looking forward to like the chemistry of the Bad Batch brothers, like the brotherhood, and she's just kind of thrown a wrench into that.
Right. Yeah, she definitely is, and I can see that.
Go away. I was excited. I knew she wasn't going to go with the family. But I really wanted her to.
I think that was another thing too. Of like, was anybody really expecting her to leave with the family?
No.
I don't think anybody was really expecting. I think we would have been more surprised if she actually did leave than if she didn't.
But how many people wanted her to leave?
I mean, yeah, I guess. But
I mean, it doesn't have to be a negative. I'm just saying, like, go along, develop off screen, and then come back when you have something to offer.
With Omega though, is like there's clearly something special about her.
Yeah.
And I am kind of worried, kind of on the fence. I'm not sure what's going on. Like, I'm not sure how I really feel about it, but I'm pretty sure they're trying to hint that she's Force sensitive. Have you thought that?
I think I mentioned that last episode.
Okay.
That I think that's what's going to happen.
Right. And
because it's just an obvious thing that they, like you're saying with, yours a little deeper, how they start these young characters off as annoying people so they can develop them. They also bring in these young characters
who are Force
sensitive. To show like the beginning stages of Force.
So
in different people.
Obviously, the problem with that is Omega is a clone, and we don't like in the current canon we don't know how that works exactly.
Right.
But obviously Jango Fett wasn't a Force sensitive, and like I'm hoping they are not going to retcon that like, oh no, Jango Fett actually was force sensitive. He just never got training. So I'm really hoping we're not going down that path.
What I wonder with the theory that she might be force sensitive, I'm wondering if we know that Jango Fett's like the main source of all these clones.
Right.
She's different. She's a girl. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if there's an agenda there or not, but she's a girl, and I wonder if there's some other DNA mixed in.
Right. That's what I was about to say right now.
A Jedi, or maybe like Palpatine himself, or something like that.
So the other thing I was going to say right now is we know that there was a Jedi stationed on Kamino in the Clone Wars, and that Jedi helped train the clones. And that Jedi was a woman. I don't remember her name right now.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if they took some of her DNA and mixed it with Jango Fett's DNA, and they made this Omega.
Right.
So I'm kind of wondering if that's how they're going to explain it.
She isn't a clone.
Right. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that, but I mean, Jango Fett's been dead for years now at this point.
Right. That's true.
Well, yeah, but then Omega's pretty old too, actually. Like Omega would be older than that. Okay. Well, never mind. Just disregard that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying though.
Right. But I'm wondering, so this is kind of where my mind is going right now. Okay. And kind of stick with this for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we know in episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, that Snoke was a bad morphed whatever clone of Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
So we know that, and we know that Snoke was force sensitive.
Yeah.
We know in Mandalorian that they were taking Grogu's like cells and DNA and blood. I'm assuming they were taking that, and Grogu's DNA is actually what helped make Snoke in the sequel trilogy.
Right.
And I'm guessing what's going on now is the way that they can do that, the way they know how to do that is because they had the like notes and research that they used to make Omega. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking this is all like Omega is kind of like the first prototype for making Snoke.
Yeah.
And what's even more interesting right now is we have a Darth Vader comic book that came out this year in 2021. Mm-hmm. And in this comic, I believe the newest issue, hang on one second, let me do some, okay, it was 2020 that this came out. I believe it's still ongoing. I haven't read this one yet, to be honest. But hang on, we'll do another cut right here because I got to find this. So here we go. So we know in the current line of the Darth Vader comic, which is set in between Empire Strikes Back and a Return of the Jedi, that let's see. So this is in issue 11 of the current Darth Vader comic. So Vader confronts Emperor Palpatine on Exegol, which is the planet in episode 9.
Right.
And there the Emperor reveals that he has Luke's detached hand from the Empire Strikes Back. Now, what's like furthermore is going based off of the old EU Legends timeline is they used Luke's severed hand to make a clone of Luke. And they called that clone Luke with 2 U's, Luuke.
Okay.
So now the question is the Empire going to have some type of Luke clone that they've been, and again, this is all coming from the research that they did from Omega. I am starting to wonder, and all of that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say there is a clone-like story arc building in the background of all of these latest.
Exactly, in all of these in all of the current like stories that are going on. You have the like the hints of clones.
You have the Clone Wars show that it's made possible to make clones in like a mass produced type of setting. And then now you have the experimental cloning.
Right. And so just furthermore, the book series in the old legends that Luke Skywalker is from the Heir to the Empire trilogy, which is the famous trilogy of books where Grand Admiral Thrawn is the main bad guy. And we know Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to be coming back in the Ahsoka series.
Played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Not true. Still not true.
If you say it enough times, it'll come true.
Okay.
Sorry,
and then,
keep going.
Sorry, and then even furthermore, we know that Mandalorian, New Republic Rangers, the Ahsoka series, they're all going to be building to a larger story together. And for a long time now, maybe not a long time, but for a while now, I've been thinking that it's going to be the like canon version of the Heir to the Empire story.
Okay.
And now I'm wondering if like we are seeing like the seeds being planted right now with Omega for the future live action show that the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and all these are going to take place, where we're going to have the live action Grand Admiral Thrawn. And was the season 2 Luke Skywalker just a test to see if they could do a live action Luke Skywalker, and we're going to get the Luke Skywalker clone in this show that's coming down the pipeline? Is this
played
all
by Sebastian Stan?
No, I think it's just Mitch.
All right, keep going.
Well, no, I mean that's kind of it. Like, is this like, are we setting the seeds right now for this? Because like we've already been told, like, yeah, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, New Republic Commandos, whatever, they're all going to be building to a story together, and it looks like that path is leading us to Grand Admiral Thrawn. But it's like we're also have these hints now that like you can clone a Force sensitive person and they can be Force sensitive. In fact, we know that because we had Snoke in the sequel trilogy, and if Omega is Force sensitive, are we kind of already planting the seeds that are going to lead to a evil Luke Skywalker clone who is working with Grand Admiral Thrawn, and we're going to see all of this in the live action? And like, yeah, what do you think? Like, after hearing all of this nonsense, what do you think of all that?
Well, I think you're onto something, and that's a lot to take in, but I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, like, if this is what Omega is, I'm starting to think that we are slowly putting the pieces on the chessboard that is going to be this awesome show in the future. And
she's still annoying, but I like where you're going with this, and it gives her a bigger purpose.
Right.
And just looking at Bad Batch, it makes it more interesting to watch.
Yeah.
If you think that something like that might happen.
I think this is all building to something. I think this is all a huge thing that we're gonna, like, all of a sudden the like the curtain's gonna open wide open and we're gonna see everything, and we're just gonna be like, holy crap, and I'm gonna be like, I told you, I called it.
I agree. I think that doing that will also make the sequel trilogy with the ending, with the reveal of Snoke and all that kind of stuff, it'll make it much more relevant and much more meaningful, because when you first saw that, it was just like, a cop out kind of a feeling,
Yeah, and we'll see like maybe when, like, so first of all, I just want to point something out too, that I don't think they're going to call the clone of Luke Skywalker Luke Skywalker. Luke. I think they're not going to give him the 2 U's. That feels very 90s.
They're going to call him Lucky, like a dog.
Maybe. I don't think so either. But
he's so lucky.
She's so lucky. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Luke Skywalker was created by Timothy Zahn in 1993, The Last Command. the third and final novel in the Thrawn trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah, I think this is where we're headed. I think we are getting a canon version, which is going to be different, but I think we are essentially going to get a live action version of the Thrawn trilogy. And yeah, I think we're going to get Luke Skywalker clone. I think we are going to get like Ezra. We're going to get Ahsoka. I don't know what's going to happen with the Bad Batch, but we're going to get Mando. We're going to get all of these people coming together to fight Thrawn and to fight this evil clone of Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
So
that'd be sick. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that Legend series other than what you just told me, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And if you watch, for the listeners out there, if you watched Bad Batch episode 2, you may not have gotten this much out of it. And that's why you come here to listen to us, because we dig deep.
Yeah, exactly. I know these things. I've spent the time learning this nonsense, so you don't have to. So I can just spout it out like a crazy person.
When I say we, I mean Aaron.
Yes. And sometimes Mitch knows that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. The one thing I did know that you didn't know today was Homelander.
Yeah.
I said Homelander, and you're like, who's that?
Yeah, no idea.
I felt a slight amount of pride.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
You heard all that here first.
That's where I think we are going with the Star Wars universe at this point.
That's awesome.
And let me tell you, friends, I think the Star Wars future looks brighter than two suns.
Brighter than two suns on Tatooine.
On Tatooine. I don't care what galaxy you're from. That's gotta hurt.
That's gotta hurt. Hey, do you know any neat tricks?
I know spinning. That's a good trick.
That's a good trick, yeah.
Yeah,
it is. Well, cool.
It's very wizard. So I am going to rate Bad Batch episode 2 as it was pretty wizard.
Right.
It was pretty wizard.
Pretty wizard.
Pretty wizard.
Yeah, I'll say yippee.
You're gonna give it a yippee, okay?
Yeah.
I think those are fair and honest reviews of Bad Batch episode 2.
But if what you just told me comes true,
mm-hmm.
and it all leads back to this episode
mm-hmm.
where we talked about this,
mm-hmm.
then I'll give this episode an I love you.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
There we go.
We go. Yeah. So we'll talk about Bad Batch episode 3 next week, but
mm-hmm.
yeah, that's I think that's all we need to say about Bad Batch episode 2,
which was a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Good job.
Right.
Good job on that.
Yeah, thank you. Let's we're going to wrap up right now, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's time.
Closing.
It's been a good episode so far.
It's been a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next week? We got Bad Batch episode 3.
Bad Batch episode 3.
Anything in particular you want to talk about regarding the Star Wars universe?
I think we'll have to wait and see what episode 3 ends up bringing up for us, and then we'll
kind of improv off of episode 3.
Yeah, improv what they do. Because maybe next week or this week, I guess technically we find out that she is Force sensitive, and then we got to like really dissect that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I want to talk about next week, Mitch. And maybe this will put a little bit of pressure on you. But I know you've started playing Kingdom Hearts 1.
I have.
And so I would really like to talk about with you where you're at, what you're thinking, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And also I want to talk about, because I know you have also, since we watched the trailer a couple of weeks ago, you've been watching Rick and Morty.
And I finished it.
And you finished Rick and Morty. So I would love, since you finished Rick and Morty, I would love to talk about what you think, kind of a thing. Maybe we rewatch the season 5 trailers, and now that you understand Rick and Morty, see what you think of it now that you've watched it.
Yeah. So does that mean we get a brand new segment called Mitch's Minute?
We're getting Mitch's Minute. Yes.
I've been waiting for this my entire life.
Okay. Well,
my entire life,
my friend. You're getting it.
But do I get 2 minutes or do I have to do that?
Yeah, you're gonna get like probably multiple minutes. Mitch's minutes.
Mitch's minutes. Cool.
Minutes.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about that stuff. I've been really enjoying all of those. So
yeah.
Love to speak more.
Yeah. And also to our listeners out there, first of all, thank you for the a few written reviews we've gotten on Apple Podcasts.
Right.
Those mean a lot to us. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please leave a review. If you have the time, we would appreciate a written review, letting us know what you think. But also, please do subscribe to us on Instagram. If you haven't already, we would appreciate that. Please.
The Moderately Interesting Pod.
Like Tide Pod.
Or Pod Racer.
Or Podcast.
Or yeah.
Yeah. Please, when you go on there and subscribe, slide into our DMs, ask us a question that you want us to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Please share this episode with your friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Please do all of those kinds of things so we can reach more people. So,
and we will very likely be on YouTube in the near future.
In the very near future. And when we do, we will drop the links for that.
Yep. And we'll have full episodes on there as well as segments.
Yeah, like this Bad Batch that we just talked about. That would probably be its own little segment on YouTube.
Be a good segment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more. Yeah, and Mitch, do you want to end with a question?
I had a question earlier today, and now I can't remember it.
Okay.
Let me see if I got one on my.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll begin the next episode with this question.
Mm-hmm.
If you could live as a person in any video game series, what video game series would you live in?
Ooh, that's a good one.
So that's where we'll end off.
Okay, that's our cliffhanger question.
That's our cliffhanger question for the week. All
Since
right.
we didn't have one last week.
Yes, because we were all Star Wars last week.
Oh yeah, May the 4th be with you.
Yes, and now it's Revenge of the 5th. Except it's now the 10th. But you get the point.
You get the point.
All right, guys, we're signing off right now. Thank you for joining us. See you next week. See you next week. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Mitch.
This has been the Moderately Interesting Podcast. Make sure to tip your lifeguards. Bye-bye.
Bye.